Holy cow. Breaking news as we are speaking right now. Moments ago, the 28 pages from the 9/11 report have just been released. And the findings are extremely important for you and everyone to understand. The findings are showing how Saudi spies pretty much gave 9/11 hijackers rent money, co-signed their lease, and helped them find flight schools. These developments and many more are absurdly shocking and prove how 9/11 was an outright inside job. Of course, United States, in the report, it even says the United States didn't focus even on investigating resources from Saudi Arabian nationals because the kingdom was an ally to the United States. But with the limited investigations that did come out, with the uncooperative ally, Saudi Arabia, we have damaging information. And as we know, Saudi Arabia threatened to crash the dollar if Congress would expose their role in the 9/11 attacks and release the 28 pages. Well, we have the 28 pages now, and what we are finding is devastating. Saudi Arabia, for some reason right now, is saying that they called for this release to happen a long time ago. The findings here are incredibly eye-opening. It is showing you how Saudi intelligence officers in advance of the attacks had received support from the Saudi government. The information centers around two men, Omar Bayuni and Osama Bashman, who have provided substantial assistance to the 9/11 hijackers in 2000 and had extensive contact with the Saudi government at that time. The report says that these guys are most likely Saudi Arabian spies. All the information that has come out proves it. Bayoni was normally an employee of Enkren, a subsidiary of a company with substantial ties to the Saudi Defense Ministry and a frequent contact with the defense minister officials responsible for air traffic control. Though he was only confirmed to have even just gone once to this particular company that the Saudi Arabians used to launder money to the 9/11 hijackers, to these guys, to these known spies of Saudi Arabia. He received $500 per month in allowance, but after he met with the hijackers, he has got $3,700 a month from Saudi Arabian government directly. In addition to the money he got from Escron, which is directly tied into Saudi Arabia, which Saudi Arabian was dunching money in, his wife received $1,200 a month from Prince Hafif bin Sultan, the wife of then Saudi ambassador to the United States. The two kept receiving money from Bayoni's contact with the 9/11 hijackers right up until late July or early August of 2001, right before 9/11. And of course, they left the country right before this major terrorist attack. Bashman, on the other hand, lived across the street from the hijackers. He was introduced to them by way of Bayoni. The CIA says that they believe he got a fake passport from the Saudi government, and that the FBI says he was a well-known supporter of Al-Qaeda, living here in the United States across the street from the 9/11 hijackers, paying their rent, helping them find flight schools. He and his wife also received a financial significant support from Prince Hafif to the tune of $74,000 for so-called nursing services that has no evidence that was even provided. The FBI also reports millions of dollars in wire transfers from Saudi Arabia laundered through the mosque in Culver City, delivered to Al Barakat, a Somali company affiliated with Osama bin Laden. The FBI said that they believed that this was a way for Saudi government to covertly and indirectly fund Al-Qaeda. The 28 pages also mentioned that several active duty Saudi naval officials had contact with the hijackers in the lead up to 9/11. Interestingly, however, despite the high profile declassification of these documents, all essential information is redacted in the final release. We have the final release up on wearechange.org that you could go see yourself, and you could see all key information redacted from the general public. But still, the information that did come out is extremely damaging and proves an outright inside job. It shows you how the dry run that the 9/11 hijackers did when they went on airplanes and flew and did a test of how they would do everything right before 9/11, it was carried out by men flying to party at Saudi embassies on tickets paid for by the Saudi government. The Saudi government was paying for their dry run. These documents show how men with ties to the Saudi government, who were the spies that we were just talking about, paid their rent, found their flight school, co-signed their lease on their apartment. Men tied to 9/11 hijackers received money directly from Prince Bandar. This is explosive, breaking, key news showing you what really happened. And of course, the Saudi government has not been cooperating with the United States since 1996 when it came to investigating and capturing Osama bin Laden. Meanwhile, the United States says no, they're an ally. Meanwhile, they were knowingly not cooperating with us finding Osama bin Laden, hiding all this key information, and now it is coming, showing you how their ambassadors to the United States were directly linked to Al-Qaeda. The ambassador, his number was found on a suspect that was captured in Pakistan, an Al-Qaeda operative who was captured in 2002. Abu Zabir, a senior Al-Qaeda operative, he had the U.S. ambassadors to Saudi Arabia's phone number in his contacts. This phone number was not listed. The information that's coming out right now is showing you directly how the United States turned a knowing, blind eye to the people who financed and created 9/11 in this country. That's why when things like the airlift of evil happened, when Pakistani Air Force cargo planes landed in Afghanistan before the United States invasion and evacuated top Al-Qaeda leaders, the United States turned a blind eye and covered up this important fact. Where was Osama bin Laden found? Pakistan. Pakistan flew their airplanes into Afghanistan, flew out the top Al-Qaeda operatives, and the United States covered it up for them. The article on NBC News says, "See no evil," and that they are in denial. Knowingly, they played a part in this. This is not just pointing a direct finger at Saudi Arabia, because if you look at all the evidence surrounding 9/11, you could see how the bin Laden family, which is all connected with the embassies, with these companies, with these Saudi Arabian spies that financed these attacks, these people were flown out of the country when no one was allowed to fly on direct orders from the White House. And again, the victims' family members have been screaming for justice, as well as advocates, as well as myself, for a number of years, showing you how there was a direct cover-up of exactly what happened on 9/11. But it's not only a cover-up. We have just seen how the United States government, with the Saudi Arabian government, financed these 9/11 attacks and allowed them to happen. The evidence is right here in front of you. Read these 28 pages and you have to ask yourself, is it just Saudi Arabia? Well, 15 of the 19 hijackers were, again, they were failed to fit any requirements to be allowed to enter the United States with their visa documents from Saudi Arabia. Only 6 were interviewed. All 15 should have been denied entry to the United States, and this is according to the Washington Post, who released an article about this on October 22nd, 2002. ABC News reported on this on October 23rd, 2002. And 2 Republican senators say that the State Department personally had allowed these hijackers to be allowed in. We have a whistleblower, Mike Springman, who was working at the Jeddah consulate, who was working and showed and proved how the CIA was issuing passports to Al-Qaeda to be allowed into this country. We have just seen point blank on the busiest news day in this country how Saudi Arabia, the United States, did 9/11. The proof is in the documents. Share this video. This is incredible, important news. Saudi Arabian spies committed 9/11 with the help of the United States, which allowed them, which assisted them. This is huge. We finally have the proof. Share this video with everyone you know. We're going to cover this and a lot more as the developments keep coming in. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, support us on Patreon, because you are not hearing this kind of direct news on the mainstream media right now. Get this information out there. If it's not you, it will be nobody else. If it's not you supporting us, we would not be here because we are a real news organization. Go on wearechange.org, check out these documents for yourself, share this video, subscribe. This is huge, important news that everyone needs to know right now.